You ever wake up thinking you're headed for just another dull day, then suddenly you're driving out to the middle of nowhere, wondering if your whole life's about to turn upside down? Yeah, that was me. 15 years I tried to move on, settle into the quiet ache of wanting a family I could never have, nursing the pain of marriage that slipped right through my fingers. And thimble out of nowhere, I get the call. My ex-husband, Richard, dead, left me some mansion I'd never even heard of. No kids, no real ties. You'd think maybe that's the end of it. But life's never that neat, is it? So there I am, taking my battered sedan down winding country roads I didn't even know were on the map, everything green and rolling and somehow frozen in time. GPS tells me I'm there, and I swear, Oak Haven Manor pops up like something out of a dream or maybe a ghost story. Ivy crawling up ancient stone walls, windows like dark eyes, a place that looked like it had stories buried in every corner. I just sat in the car, thinking, what in the world did Richard get himself into? And why drag me back in? I go up to the door, heart pounding, and yeah, it's unlocked, which in the middle of nowhere I guess means something. I walk in, sunlight catching all the dust swirling through the air, the house both grand and tired at the same time, like it's waiting for someone to decide what happens next. That's when I hear it. Footsteps, whispers, kids, and not just one or two. 7. I find them all huddled together in the old drawing room, staring at me like I'm the intruder because, I was the oldest. Leo, maybe 16, stand his ground, chin up, eyes narrowed, says, "This is our house." My name hits them like a shockwave. I manage, and when I say I was Richard's ex-wife, their faces flicker some anger, some fear, a whole lot of suspicion. One of them, Marcus, glasses, sharp as a tack, asks, "Did you really know Mr. Richard?" I try to explain. We were married once a long time ago. I didn't know about any of them, about this place. The girl with the watchful eyes, Serafina, says, "He never mentioned you." I can tell they don't trust me. Not yet. But there's this moment, a small one, where Marcus suggests maybe I'm hungry, and next thing you know, they're offering me the last of their bread and cheese in a kitchen that looks straight out of a black and white photo. That's how it starts, this slow unraveling of secrets. They introduce themselves, all 7: Leo, Serafina, Marcus, twins Clara and Chloe, little Finn, and the youngest, Lily, barely 5, mostly silent but watching everything. Leo says they've lived their different lengths of time. He's been there the longest, for years. Richard, they tell me, came and went, but it was Mrs. Petrov, some kind of caretaker, who kept them going. I'm piecing it together. None of them are related by blood, too wide an age range, different backgrounds. It doesn't add up. When did Richard start this, whatever it is? Was it about the family we never had? Did he feel the loss as sharp as I did? After dinner, the smallest, Lily, creeps up to me and asks, "Are you going to make us leave?" And that's it. That's the hook in my heart. I promise her, no, I'm not here to throw anyone out. But honestly, in that moment, I don't know what I'm going to do. I spend the night at some little inn, tossing and turning, trying to fit the puzzle pieces together. In the morning, I buy groceries, show up with pancakes, and juice something that feels like home, if only for a minute. When Mrs. Petrov arrives short, sturdy, eyes like she sees straight through you, she sizes me up, says, "You must be the ex-wife." Turns out Richard was sick, dying for months, and made arrangements so these kids wouldn't get thrown back into whatever mess they came from. They aren't his, not by blood, she says. He found them, saved them from the system, from the streets, from people who should have protected them and didn't. Mrs. Petrov shrugs. The law is not always right, Miss Era. I'm still reeling when the next bomb drops. Bartholomew Vance, Richard's cousin, shows up slick, polished, smells like trouble, and he's got eyes only for the house, the estate. "This charity project can't possibly stay," he sneers. He calls the kids squatters, says he'll buy me out, offers a fair deal if I just go quietly. Leo steps in front of his siblings, stands his ground. My blood boils. I don't care who Bartholomew thinks he is. These kids are not just an inconvenience to be swept aside. It's Serafina who tells me, "Mr. Richard said you would help us. He said you were kind, even though he hurt you." That lands like a punch. Richard thinking of me at the end? I start to see maybe all this is his way of trying to make things right in the only way he could. Leo takes me up to Richard's study time capsule, full of his careful handwriting, files on every child. Every story is a heartbreaker. Abuse, abandonment, bounced from place to place until Richard intervened. He documented everything, not just to cover himself, but to make the case for why this family needed to stay together. It's not legal. It's not simple. But for the first time, I see the depth of what he built. Just as I'm getting my bearings, Richard's attorney, Patricia Winters, a force of nature in sensible shoes. She's got documents, plans, tells me Richard saw this coming, wanted me to fight for these kids. He believed you had the biggest heart, she says. With her help, we set to work hiring lawyers, gathering evidence, preparing to go up against Bartholomew and the system. There's a twist, though Serafina insists we see the hidden room. Behind a secret door upstairs, we find the heart of Richard's operation. Maps, files, lists of children he tried to help, failures of the system spelled out in heartbreaking detail. It wasn't just about us. Richard wanted to fix what was broken at least for a handful of kids the world forgot. The legal fight is brutal. Bartholomew tries everything. Freezes Richard's assets. Hires private investigators. Paints me as unstable. The kids as squatters. But every time he knocks us down, we get up again. The kids help statements for the judge, drawings, stories, evidence of how Oak Haven turned their lives around. Leo asks me, late one night, what if we're not worth it? I tell him the truth, love, isn't something you earn. You are worth it. All of you. The day of the first hearing, I look at these 7 faces, and I know no matter what it takes, I will fight for them. The judge is tough, questions my lack of parenting experience, my motives, everything. But in the end, what wins her over isn't legal sites a drawing Lily made of the whole family, huddled together under the manor's roof. The judge gives us a lifeline, temporary guardianship. Bartholomew corners me outside, offers millions to just walk away. I tell him, you think I'm here for the money? These kids are not for sale. That's the moment I know this fight. It's about more than Oak Haven. It's about proving that family is what you make it, not what you're born into. Days turn to weeks, repairs to the house, new routines, family dinners, trips to the library, small wins and setbacks. I find each kid's rhythm Serafina's art. Marcus's hunger for learning, Clara and Chloe starting to find themselves as individuals, Finn's wild curiosity, Lily's slow trust, Leo's burden of being everyone's big brother. Little by little, we become something real. Spring comes, the final court date. By now, even the social workers are rooting for us. The judge shares how each child has changed, how we've built something that can't be measured in bank statements or birth certificates. When she rules in our favor, makes our family permanently swear for a second, I think Richard must be smiling down on us. That night, Serafina unveils a portrait she's painted for the front hall 8 of us, and Richard, just behind, watching over his oddball, patchwork family. Leo, never much for words, says, it's ours now, our family, our home. I hold back tears, and I know this is where I belong. So, yeah, sometimes life hands you the strangest second chances. Oak Haven Manor wasn't just an inheritance, it was the family my heart had always been searching for. Maybe the law can't always keep up with what's right, but love finds a way. And if you ask me who gets to call a place home, well, I say it's the ones who fight for it. You ever had to stand up for something that mattered, even when everyone said you couldn't win? Tell me, where do you draw the line between what's legal and what's right? Would you fight for a family that wasn't born to you, but found you anyway? Let's hear it.